What's going on, everyone? This is Michael Stewart-Isaacs.
And this is Shemekka Ebony.
And this is your next edition of Sunday Stacks. We are always excited to continue to bring new episodes of Sunday Stacks to you. We're grateful to all the sponsors that have been supporting the show. I want to give a quick shout out to Quickbooks for their support, as well as Thrive. Definitely check out all our platforms as always to just show some love to the sponsors. You got some sponsors you want to shout out real quick, Shemekka?
Absolutely. As always, we are excited to have partners and platforms to help enhance our leadership journey, and giving a shout out this morning to Forum. That is Forum on all social media platforms. Check us out. You can join my group starting in January to empower female leaders.
Yes. So as we start this edition of this episode, we are talking about the holidays. Yes, holiday celebrations are here. It doesn't matter if it's Hanukkah, Christmas celebrations, or even the preparation for Kwanzaa. We are always joyful around this time of year, as well as the consumer bug is always out there making sure that we spend our money.
It's a contagion.
Oh my goodness. If it's not something to spend on, I mean, it doesn't matter what the holiday or the occasion. It's just please buy now, please buy for a discount, please buy over here. And it's just amazing. But, you still got to just enjoy it. You get to see the holiday lights and celebration and just see how people really get into the holidays. And this season has not disappointed at all. Where's the recession? Where's the, high interest rates, right? We have people out here that are just enjoying their lives and just the ability to, show their different expressions of joy and the different expressions of what we consider our holidays during the holiday season. I like to say Merry Christmas because I do enjoy the Christmas holiday and just the spirit it brings of cheer and fun that, you see a different side of people. They're not upset and uptight. They're a little bit more open, a little bit more kinder and polite. I wish we could carry the Christmas spirit in this holiday season all year long, but it's definitely always a beautiful thing to see as the year wraps up, and always again seeing all these people running out here for presents half crazy is just always whimsical to me around the holiday seasons.
It's a commercial.
Yes. So also what makes Christmas always joyful, and me and Miss Shemekka had an opportunity to, have some joy this season with Christmas parties. Yes. Holiday parties are always the best. And I know you all out there are having your different office parties with your office mates, or maybe some other, social gatherings for different groups and organizations. During this time is always the time that we always gather with old friends and celebrate. And it's interesting. Holiday parties always are before the actual holidays, or particularly Christmas, I guess because people need time to do things with their friends and coworkers and still shop, and then lead up into what you got to do with your family, I guess, on the actual big day itself. So we had a great time to spend some time with some friends during a holiday party, and it was just a phenomenal celebration. Sometimes, as working, busy parents running multiple businesses, you don't always get a chance to let your hair down and just enjoy yourself. That's not a networking event or some kind of business related or community related event. So just being able to spend time with friends and neighbors and just really growing, it's just been an amazing experience. And I just truly forgot how much I love holiday parties.
Shout out to MC Jelly.
Jelly, that's my new nickname alert. Yes. And that was fun. We went to a holiday party, and, the hostess was just amazing.
Oh, yes.
Gave us an opportunity to just have so many well-themed ideas. And I would just tell anyone who hasn't even had their holiday party, if you're listening now, or even just by next year, just be very thoughtful about the themes and the different things. To see people who will come up with so many amazing ideas, it's just, mind-blowing sometimes how creative the human spirit can be, especially when they want to celebrate with others. So, but yes, MC Jelly. Yes, MC Jelly was my given elf name, right? So at this party, we took time to, work with an app program that once you put your real name in it, it ended up giving you like a holiday name, a elf name. And so mine's was Jelly. And I believe yours was
Bubbly.
And that fits your personality. You're so bubbly and so delightful always. I should call you
sweet.
bubbly, delightful. Yes, y'all gotta allow me to flirt with my beautiful wife here on the Sunday Stacks because, of course, we're about family, community, and company. Yeah, so we definitely have to continue to show you what it feels like, looks like, to just truly have that important system in our lives. I want to show other fellas and men it's okay to love your woman out loud. It's okay to compliment her in public. It's okay to compliment her on the record, to let the world know how much you love your bride, how much you love your queen, how much you love the mother of your children, and have that level of gratitude and respect. And that's what I love my wife, Shemekka. She's just an amazing force, and you're always the greatest gift I can ask for every holiday, and of course, Halloween is my favorite holiday. So whose birthday's on Halloween?
Oh, just the greatest.
Whose birthday's on Halloween?
Oh, it is mine.
Yes.
It's my birthday.
Yes, the greatest, as you stated. So, yes. So, like I said, we just like to bring that joy. And that's why I said the holiday seasons, whether it runs from Halloween, Thanksgiving, all the way up into the Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa season, and then right into New Year's Eve, right? So I know you all have those plans out there, planning out the year, and of course, Sunday Stacks, your favorite Sunday radio broadcast. We're going to bring play-by-play of our life. We love to get you to like and subscribe, share with a friend, tell people about the fun you're having here with Sunday Stacks. We're just a family event here. Definitely please, read the descriptions. We have our sponsors in there. We tell a lot of cool things about all the different projects that we're involved in. We keep busy here. Our family affectionately is called the Brilliant Bunch, and we love to continuously elevate the family element and dynamics, and just really celebrate family business, that attitude of how do you make your family in itself what you put your primary focus on. Because so many people work and have jobs, and I commend that out there, no doubt. Even if you work and might have a little side hustle or you're starting a new business, it's commendable. Don't stop. Do both. Figure it out. Yeah, the economy is not easy, so be grateful for whatever incomes you have coming in. But in truth, when you can build a family business and y'all struggle a little bit, but y'all learn from each other, you start to see the strengths and the weaknesses, and you start to, help each other adapt and cover one another. That's what we've been able to explore on this journey. And I just encourage anyone, check out our work, check out all of our different platforms to see this journey we've been on. It wasn't perfect and it wasn't always easy, but it definitely flowed over time, and we just enjoy one another and our family dynamic. So with that, we are looking to transition to our next topic, which is parenting. Yes, parenting is going to be the topic of discussion today, where me and Shemekka are going to really elaborate a little bit more on what parenting nowadays feels like. Do any of you out there have that feeling? Parenting is just not feeling like what you might have thought you were doing when you were with your parents, or what you think their parents were, or what we used to watch on TV when we were young. Everything is completely different. Sometimes I don't even feel like the family is fully centered. I feel like, individualism has had its day through social media and so many other things. So I ask you first out there, please, in the comments, please let us know, what does parenting nowadays mean to you, and what has it become? Is it the same things of guiding your children to their greater selves, or is it something where you allow your kid to figure out who they are and they're guiding you to figuring out who they believe they are? And it's just that dynamic that you see out here that has shifted in terms of what parenting feels like. Do you have any thoughts and opinions?
Having the lived experience of, I guess, raising children, and I feel like I had two generations at once with this 11-year gap between the first set of kids and the second set. And it's helped me, value and appreciate some of the changes, but I'm still an old school parent, and I'm learning, to be better in my 2.0, but there's some things that are just very important to have.
I love it. And I think, with me, with parenting nowadays, it's just about learning how to find these boundaries, because when I was coming up initially with my kids, they wanted all my time. They always wanted to be around daddy. And then so I gave myself, and I made sacrifices thinking that my kids needed me. They needed to see me. They needed to have me. And then I came to a space where my kids no longer needed me as much. And then I'm stuck and riddled with all the different sacrifices that I feel like I made for them. So it's like nowadays parenting is a little unique, because you don't guide your kids as long as you used to. Though, I'm not saying for those who are parents who might have kids that still live with you, that might be in their 20s or even in their 30s. But, I'm talking more so for teenage kids, and then also having younger kids that are like, younger than 7. It's a different dynamic, and each generation seems to just change its thought process on who they want to be. And even with the teenagers, it's almost like watching them. By the time they're like 15, 16, they already think they know the world. They think they have
Have it
everything
all figured out.
Yeah, and it's just a weird dynamic because it's almost like they don't realize you were just 13 3 years ago and didn't even know to put your clothes on, the right way, or you didn't know how to clean your room, or, basic, simple things. And all of a sudden they have these huge gaps and, jumps and leaps, I should say, to the next level of what they think they know what life is. And, oh, you don't get this or you don't understand. It's just so confusing nowadays because these kids don't sometimes value their parents' input like maybe what they may have felt like they were forced to do or not when they were younger.
Well, I think, too, you speak to a powerful point because it's what I see has the capacity to be calamitous over time is that we have this other aspect of parenting when we want to support our child in, whatever, just even listening to them. But sometimes they are misinformed, and our concession to listen and support to help them find their way only helps them fall harder sometimes.
Yeah.
Because they don't know better. They're fighting for rights that they don't know better. Like, it's not that what they're doing is wrong. It's just misguided and misinformed passion that we as parents have to nurture and help them grow through that without crumbling it, still supporting it. But we got to guide you in the right direction.
I love how you said misguided passion. And I think that can overwhelm so many people, as well as from the parenting side. We're talking to the parents first, I'd be some young kids listening with their parents, maybe cringing in the corner, listening to these conversations like, oh no, I hope my parent don't start asking me questions or, checking on me. And I mean, we know what it is with social media, these devices. It's changed the dynamics of our inputs. Like before, your parent, was you and maybe some episodes of television programs that came on at 8 o'clock, or some, used to have cartoons and different, things that, would happen in our life that we would, have, what's those after school specials when we were coming up, right? Come on, parents, those who don't act 40 plus, or, even if you're 35 and more, you remember those after school specials. There were a lot of intent to help parents in the positive way to fix society, prepare your kid for school, and, prepare them for careers and things of that nature. And I'm not saying those things aren't happening anymore, but it's a little bit different because even as a parent, I watch my kids with school with teachers who are millennials, and the millennial mindset isn't necessarily the mindset or the values that I have. And I have to watch my kid figure out whether they're going to listen to me, whether they're going to listen to a teacher or a counselor that has maybe a different mindset and a take on the world. And then they have to listen to their generation and kids their age who themselves were just 13, 10 years old a few years ago. And now all of a sudden they're some expert. And this is the person you listen to because why? They're cool, or because they're popular, or because they're a top athlete or something. It's just a weird dynamic that starts to happen in terms of your voice not having the same impact on your kid as it used to. Though your kid needs to realize, like, you're my kid. You're my DNA. I understand your habits. I understand your mom's habits. I understand different things that will help you to understand self, especially in a time of trauma and mental health. We should be fostering healthy family relationships, healthy family dynamics, healthy spaces for kids and parents to discuss things. But also, it's almost like we as parents sit back and let kids impart to us what they want to be and who they are versus us telling them who we are and the struggles we overcame and how we truly are trying to help them find pitfalls. But like Shemekka said, it's that misguided passion that sometimes will drive kids to say, I already know, or I get it already. And they just tune you out and they're not listening. I mean, we see the kids with headphones on all the time and those kind of things. So, we really have to fix the frequency of the family in a healthy way, in a respectful way. So this is not a parent go attack your kid thing. It's just we have lost the power dynamic when it comes to parenting sometimes. And we have to reshift it in a way that we're still guiding and nudging our kid in a direction that's to our moral values and principles. And that varies for different people, obviously. But we have to make sure we know what we stand for.
Yeah, it's important to have those conversations because not only are you parenting in real time, but you are modeling the potential behavior of what your child is going to engage with their child as a parenting style. So if open communication and it's just because I said so is the only parenting style you have, it's going to be probably so far rejected by the time your child has children, and it's going to be everything goes because they want to be so far extreme opposite of what their parent is until some of that stuff that they said so really, really works. And it could have really saved you some time and some heartache. So we'll all get to the expected end, but it's like we got to assess how do we want our legacy to get there? What are we modeling? What are we teaching? What are we leaving behind?
I love it. So with that, we're going to take our shift to the Whiz of the Week. The Whiz of the Week. We're doing a different, take on the Whiz of the Week this week as we are looking at the uniqueness, talking about parenting, talking about family, but we are now going to talk about housing and loans and mortgages. And of course, we cannot overlook what happened this week with Navy Federal Credit Union, right? We definitely want to take a look at how this organization had discriminatory practices against minorities, where they had proof over many years that a lot of minority applicants, black and brown people, as always, were getting close to 50% rejections on mortgage applications as well as loan applications. And so a lot of controversy and a lot of chatter in the grapevine started happening with this. A lot of headlines took over that said Navy Federal Credit Union and going through the records. But my question is Navy Federal Union truly discriminating, or are there people who are unqualified trying to get loans because they've heard, hey, it was easy to get a loan at Navy Federal Credit Union, and now they're in that position? I mean, what do you think about these kind of stories when you hear them?
Well, I don't know if it was several years or something recent, but, it sounds like Wells Fargo, all over again. Which, if we don't really correct the system, it'll just repeat the cycle. And so, what we're experiencing, whether we are turning in documents that are inaccurate and the quick rejection or the delay in rejection or whatever that looks like for what their internal practices are, it could be something that's an automated error that, technology could be to play a part with this too, depending on the level of engagement of the keywords in these applications, the salary ranges, if people are identifying in their race, and then it's, just based on the algorithm could begin to weigh things very differently. We have to look at the technology as well as the human experience with what we're seeing in history repeating itself now with Navy Federal Credit Union.
Well said, and a great point bringing up Wells Fargo and that situation. And I'm pretty sure it's an ongoing situation. Now, we definitely want to be fair to any company, but we also want them to understand you have to be more fair to communities. And sometimes when you lock in prejudices or, misconceived notions, or don't create redemption programs to help people qualify, or even give people true information that relates in a translatable way to them so they can understand how they can make sure they qualify, or they don't put false information in a way that truly kind of takes in consideration the different lives and the lifestyles that different people may have lived. So I think, we definitely want to look at these headlines and read them carefully, read in between the lines. Definitely want to make sure that anyone out there isn't doing things that would put them in a position that they cannot bring their life to the next level, because family is so important, and families that dwells in these homes, and with the loans that we may take for our businesses and all these different things, we have to make sure that we're in a position that we're making ourselves without reproach, that our talents and our skills aren't being questioned in any capacity. Yes, and we just got to grow from it. Integrity. Wow. What a word. Integrity. Even as a youth myself, I had to learn how to meditate through that concept and that word, because I really wanted to know, what did I want my name to stand for? And I think that's what credit reports are about. That's what the habits and the things we do. And that's why we have to be careful with consumerism and what we're spending on things that may bring us temporary gratification. A meal here, too many meals there. Cook more, do things that help you not only be more healthy and in line, but also helps you take care of your bottom line and your wallet, and definitely put you in a position to have a savings, because you can't buy a home or do certain investments without savings. So always remember that. And these are the tips we want to leave you here at Sunday Stacks. We don't just want to tell you a whiz of the week. We want to tell you how you're going to beat the whiz, because that's what we're here to do, is give you tips to really hack your way in a healthy way, healthy hacks, to make sure that you maintain a stacked full life. Every week we say you should be stacking your life week for week. So everything should stack up. When your week's practices, start your Monday off well. Work hard to your next Sunday, so that way you can grow to a level that you have more than what you had the week before. And you're not looking at your life year over year or month over month, but week for week. And that's what we're here to help you do here with Sunday Stacks.
So think about one goal you want to set this week, whether it is saving up for a house, saving up for a transition or a vacation, whatever that is. Think about setting that goal this week, and all this week, stack up ways that will help inform this decision. Things you need to do, adjust, amend, become better at, learn from, grow, to set those goals around that, so that we can hold ourselves accountable to stack every week. So thanks for lifting that up, Mike.
I love it. So as always, we thank our sponsors, Quickbooks, Thrive. We definitely appreciate Forum and all the different organizations that, as we continue to grow as coaches, as leaders, teaching practices in business, helping with communities and thought leadership across the country. We thank you all for listening to this episode of Sunday Stacks. As always, like and subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. Put some comments in here. Tell us what you thought about this episode, new episode topics that we could talk about in the future. Please let us know. We want this to be interactive and engaging. We thank YouTube for the platform to allow us to start and bring this wonderful Sunday Stacks back. I love this feeling. I love this show, and I definitely appreciate all you listeners out there for supporting us.
Yes, and remember, I
am brilliant, and you are too.